Okay, we've all heard that having a good morning routine is the key to success, the secret treasure that will save your life, and that the morning routine is actually Christ himself. But are any of these claims true? Well, in this video I'm gonna show you the importance of morning routines, and I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how to create the best one for yourself. So, are morning routines any good in achieving the life of your dreams? Unfortunately for some of you, the answer is yes, they are. Most, if not all, successful people have some kind of morning routine. But why is that? Why are morning routines, or routines in general, such a common trait we see in successful people? It's because routine means structure, and the structured life not only makes simple but important tasks like brushing your teeth, showering hopefully, or reading much easier to do because of the way things flow in our day, but it also gives us a sense of order. We know where we have to do what, and we're not always wasting time thinking what to do next when forgetting half of the things we were supposed to do. Routines make our lives easier by simplifying the tasks we have each day, making them effortless. I believe most people have this wrong perception of routines, especially morning ones. That's because when they hear morning routine, all that comes into their minds is some David Goggins waking up at 4 AM to go for 2 runs at the same time type of routine, and to be honest, I don't blame you. When I was smaller, I also had this belief that routines are all about just waking up early, because otherwise you couldn't be productive or some shit like that. It took me a while to understand that we all have different biological clocks that tell us when to sleep and when to wake up. Which leads me to my first point of the video. Listen to your biological clock and do it consistently. This point is entirely related to your circadian rhythm, which is a process that regulates the sleep-wake cycle and repeats roughly every 24 hours. And what that mumbo jumbo basically means, for those of us that are a bit late with thinking, is when your body feels it needs to go to sleep and when it feels the need to wake up. That's it. And I know what you're probably thinking right now. Oh, but if my circadian rhythm tells me to go to bed at 3 AM and wake up at 4 PM, I can't do anything about it. No bro, this isn't just an excuse for you to be a complete dumbass with your sleeping patterns. But if you are in that kind of dire situation, then I suggest you slowly regulate the way you treat sleeping in general and maybe go to a psychiatrist as well. I actually think I'm gonna make a separate video on that entirely because it's a very important subject. But the key to making your sleep help, not hinder your routine, is to find the right hours for you to go to bed and wake up, and be consistent with them each and every single day. If you can manage that, you'll be well off to having a great sleeping routine. And honestly, I know it's fucking hard. Right now I started to change my routine because of what I wrote in this script actually. Wanting to go out and experience sunlight early in the morning. You see what I'm talking about in a few minutes. But the whole thing is that it's really hard for me right now to get good amounts of sleep. Right now I'm going to bed at like 11 PM and waking up at 5:30 AM, and that's, for me at least, not enough. But moving on to the video, the next point is don't check your phone. I know this may sound trivial to some of you, but one of the biggest mistakes we can make in the morning is to wake up and check our phones. I and many scientists believe that checking your phone right after waking up is one of the worst ways to start your day. And yeah, I just put myself in the same sentence with scientists, because we're on the same plane of intelligence, as you can obviously see. But I am pretty guilty of doing this thing as well, and I don't do it right after waking up, but after not much time either. And I want to change it because I've seen it hinder my overall productivity and well-being. And as I said, I'm right now taking steps for improving my morning routine as well. And I actually stopped using my phone almost entirely in the morning until like 7 AM or something like that. Checking your phone in the morning is bad for a lot of reasons, but I've noticed 2 things that stand out, at least for me. The first one being that when we wake up, we should be connected with our day, with what we have to do, but by checking our phones, we are instead connecting ourselves to them, to the problems of the outside world, and whatever shit we may see on social media. The second issue I've noticed is that checking our phones, and especially scrolling through social media, spikes our dopamine levels, this being one of the things that we deeply don't need in the morning. Because after that spike, there's gonna be a big fucking drop in it as well, making us lethargic and without any motivation to do the things we were supposed to do. I think you felt this as well, waking up, checking your phone, and after some time, feeling like the day has already gone by and you just want to be in your bed again. Honestly, I think we've all had that feeling. But if you want to start off your morning in the best way possible, wait at least 1 hour until checking your phone. Also, quick bonus tip. If you have the possibility, don't drink your coffee right after waking up. I won't give you all the science behind it, but it basically fucks up with your natural way of getting energy when waking up. That being cortisol, and it limits the effects of both your body's cortisol and the caffeines. And while we're on the subject of energy, the next step is get sunlight in as early as possible. I can't even begin to describe how important getting sunlight in the morning is. And to be honest, I'm not, or at least when I wrote the script, I was not profiting off of it enough. As I said, right now I'm trying to implement all the things I talked about in this video because otherwise I would just be a fucking hypocrite. And going out in the morning, right when the sun rises up, is one of the best things I did in a while. I haven't really seen its effects on my energy levels or something like that, but I have seen a big improvement of my happiness levels and on my mood in general. And actually, while doing research for this video, I found that going out early in the morning and getting sunlight can limit depression and stress. And stress, yeah, it was stress. And dude, goddamn, just fucking go out in the morning, try it. That's all I have to say. And right now I just want to mention two of its most important benefits in order for both of us to better understand its importance. First of all, it helps us sleep better because the sunlight tells our circadian rhythm how to regulate our melatonin levels. Melatonin is basically the sleeping hormone, that which makes us tired. Secondly, it gives us energy. Our bodies are regulated to feel sleepier when it's dark outside and to feel energized when it's hit by sunlight. So getting it as early in the morning as possible is like telling your body, stop fucking sleeping, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, god damn it. And just try getting out of the house for at least 15 minutes after waking up. Even if it's cloudy, the effects of the sun will still be felt. And I know it's tedious to put on your clothes and just go outside like a lunatic. But what I've listed earlier are just some of the many fucking benefits this shit has. So let's both try implementing this more and more into our routines, at least for 2 weeks. Let's just give it a try. And then we'll decide whether we keep it or not based on the results. And honestly, for me, I already want to keep it as a permanent thing in my routine. And right now, I'm actually trying to build my routine around this thing so that its results are even greater. But now, moving on to the fourth tip. Prioritize important tasks in the morning. This tip is destined especially for morning people who are the most receptive to new information and have the most energy a short while after waking up. But I believe this to be pretty good advice even for night owls, because even if you, let's say, study better in the afternoon or at night, for most of the time you're not going to be free at the time of day. That's why I suggest doing most of your work in the morning. It helps the day flow better and it doesn't interfere with maybe going out or just relaxing a bit. Because, let's be honest, even if you are more prone to work in the afternoon as a night owl, you're also prone to want to watch a movie or to relax after your long day. Because we're all like that. But if you feel like working late at night is still better, then I obviously suggest you do what's good for you. Now going back to the main subject, I think you should try putting this in your program right after your walk outside, given that you're probably going to be the most energized then. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've actually put all the tips in the order I suggest doing them. The first one was related to sleep, then not checking your fucking phone like an idiot, and then getting sunlight, and now prioritizing your important tasks like learning or working. Also, the best way to manage your work from what I've seen is by doing these deep work cycles, usually 2, one lasting for an hour and a half with a 10 to 15 minute break between them. I've done some research on this, and our mind usually gets completely fucked after one 90-minute cycle, and so it needs to take a break. But in that 90 minutes we are the most prone to work, and honestly I found it to be really good for working. The most important thing about this deep work cycle is that you are not allowed to have your phone near you. Preferably it would be in the other room entirely, but if your little phone is too precious for you to leave alone, at least turn the power off and leave it far from your workplace. Okay, we've arrived at the final tip, and this one you'll either love or hate, and it all depends on you. Meditate and relax. And you're probably saying, Victor, how could anyone hate this tip? You're telling them to fucking relax. And you're right, but the decisive part about this tip is that You're not allowed to use your phone. You have to set a time when you're alone with only your thoughts to surround yourself with. For some, this may be great, maybe that's how most of their life looks like, but for some, this will be the most daring thing they'll have to do their entire day. If you're one of the people who think of this as a pain, then you should definitely force yourself to do this. The more you want to stray away from it, from being alone without the ability to wrap your mind around the mindless stuff you see on social media, the more this is going to help you. Give it a try. At first, you're going to feel like trash. Honestly, I'm not even going to try covering this up. You're gonna be anxious, constantly tapping your feet and thinking about what you're going to do next. But I'm challenging you. Try this for a month, and you'll notice how your life goes from being complete and utter chaos to an oasis of peace. And of course, if you choose to not accept the challenge, you're a certified fucking pussy. And that's the end. Thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you managed to learn a little more about how you should view your morning routine. I for sure am, and actually did, make some changes regarding my current one. Also, I hope I'm going to be able to post this video today. Right now it's 17th of March, because I have some problems regarding my editing software. I don't fucking know why, but it's lagging my videos. I'll try completing it today, but I don't know if that's possible. If not, I'm sorry, guys. But until the next time, have an amazing day and keep growing. Mwah.